tag teams, let's just say now we talked about the simple promotion. Mark, you start, man. So what top 5 then? We don't have to elaborate too deep on what we're talking about. But top 5 tag teams all together. So lump them all together.
Okay.
Of any era and any
era,
top 5
your
of all
top
time.
5 tag
okay,
teams.
the top 5 goats.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't start with me.
No?
Yeah, this gonna take me a second.
You got them ready, Jeff?
I'll get them ready.
All right. We don't want dead air, but yeah.
Number 1 all time is the Dudley Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say the Dudley Boys. Number 2, probably go with the Hardys. Number 3, maybe Demolition. Maybe they could be top 3. 4, Steiners. I love the Steiners. And just for the sake of, I don't want to do it. I don't want to put LOD in there.
And then they're not my favorite.
Yeah, there's nothing.
And especially if you like go back and like look to, I mean, they were huge draws. They made big money throughout the 80s through Crockett and everything like that. You can appreciate all of that. They still call the Road Warrior Pop when Iron Man will hit because there was nothing like it. It was the biggest pop of the night. They were never my favorite. Not really.
The spikes were cool, and the whole
cool.
gimmick was
Doomsday
cool.
Device.
Doomsday Device.
Damn, one of the best. You want to talk
yeah.
top 5 finishes? That might make that list.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not mine. So.
And it wasn't on my list, but I don't know. So I got 4. I need a 5th. Oh man. Maybe say Harlem Heat. Harlem Heat, number 5. Yeah.
All right, man. I'll hit my top 5, so let Mark get another minute to hone his in. Number 1 for me is the Midnight Express, and you're going to shit on me for it. But number 1, they're my favorite tag team of all time. Shout out to my buddy Patrick Hayes. We are the MOW Tag Team Champions, and we basically are a Midnight Express tribute tag team.
I should have chopped him when I saw him today.
I would love to see you in a Hayes chop battle. His chops are probably better, but then you could start where you start closing the fist, and he'd be in a lot of trouble.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to. He seemed like a really nice guy.
He's not, but he wants to be on the pod at some point too. We'll have to get him down.
No,
there.
we definitely do.
But yeah, the Midnight Express are my top team. The Steiner Brothers are my second favorite team of all time. I just fucking love them. I can't emphasize enough how great they were in that early 90s era. My third personal favorite is Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
Nice.
Love them. And if you like the revival nowadays,
there you go.
Those guys, now it's evolved. It's 2016, 17 when they were really, really firing. So they evolved it, but boy, they had the Arn and Tully, the quick tags, the short corners, and just making every little thing make sense. And then when the babyfaces go for the big spots, they were there. And that's modern era rockers, Brainbusters matches. So the Brainbusters, Arn and Tully is 3 for me. The Dudleys are 4. The Dudleys are just they're amazing. I still think they're underrated as a team because in WWF TV they were on TV every week. So by the time they split them up, it's like that doesn't make sense. But what else are you doing with them?
They were tag team.
They were tag team for so long. But then when they did split up, you're like, nah, I like them together.
Yeah.
So I think they're 4, and I'm taking the Hart Foundation as 5.
Damn it, that's probably my 5 too. Yeah.
I love the Hart Foundation, the pink and black, and just everything about it, and like Brett and Anvil doing the whip in reverse and whipping Anvil into the buckle into him and stuff, and slingshotting him in, and they, Brett was always the guy that would, when we talk about Singles Run, where you look at all the pay-per-views and you're like, oh, the Brett match on there, and man, that was so good. But they were there for the tag team too, because we talk about the demos matches. Demolition's really, really cool. The best matches were definitely the Hearts. Hearts had great matches with the Brainbusters. Even going back weight class, they had great matches with the Bulldogs.
I love the Bulldogs, man. They were great too.
Yeah, so I mean, they had great
teams.
matches with everybody. That's how good the Hearts were. So I don't think over time, like they are like the top 5 best tag team, but for me, they're in my top 5.
Nice. Well, top 5 is going to be a lot easier for me. These are my top 5 favorites, not necessarily the top best or top 5 best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I started off with the Hardy Boys because they're probably my favorite tag team of all time.
There you
It's understandable.
You said the New Age Outlaws, and I wanted to punch myself in the face for not thinking of them earlier. So New Age Outlaws number 2, just because they were all around just great. They were entertaining. They were great on the mic. I mean, anybody that can get over Mr. Ass is cool with me. You know what I mean?
Badass Billy Gunn turned into Mr. Ass.
Yeah. I mean,
He had a whole song wrote for him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the ass man. Yeah.
Mount.
I mean, you couldn't do that today.
No.
Let's see. Number 3. they should.
I'm Mr. Dong.
Who could
Mr.
they do
Dong.
that with?
Well, Joey Ryan is actually that gimmick on the Indies, more or less doing the dick flip. So not even that is original.
Number 3, Edge and Christian. Even though it was kind of wasn't. I mean, they started out in the Brood and everything, and they were a tag team for a while
How
too.
cool was the Brood?
I liked the Brood actually.
It was funny is more people like the Brood now than they did when the Brood was around.
Yeah, if more people like the Brood now than did then, Gangrel probably would have run like Edge and Christian did. Gangrel's probably out there like, where are you fuckers at back then that loved my entrance
We were
so
just
much?
like, it was kind of ridiculous, but then now we look back and we're like, Bloodbaths were fucking sweet. They like to go out and be like, whoa.
For sure. I mean, even the entrance and everything. Like he spit the blood out on every. Like it
Yeah,
was
the fire, the ring of fire
Just
they'd come up through.
coming up the stage of the Ring of
Yeah.
Fire, just giggling with his
The
gauntlet.
gauntlet of
just reminds me of a better time. Like you would see him on Heat back in the day.
Yeah.
Like that.
Because they added all those heats to the network.
I
now.
saw
I watched
that.
a couple of them because I was like,
I
Are they?
thought
Did
about
they
it.
really?
yeah.
Oh, I still pay for the network, and I probably haven't fired it up in 3 weeks.
I fired it up just recently and watched a couple things like Table for 3 and shit like that. That's a nice
There's so much on there.
Too much almost to
You know,
watch.
and this is again a sidebar. People would talk about like, well, why would you want to watch all those old Thunders? They weren't good. Well, I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I kinda
it's
wanna watch
nostalgic.
the shit.
Because I watched
Yeah,
it when I was a
watch it.
kid.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
brings you back.
I kind of want to watch the bad wrestling. Like,
Yeah, for sure. Number 4, The Outsiders.
all right,
Um,
they brought you into a whole company.
the
So-
Outsiders are, when I think of tag teams, they're one of the tag teams I think of for sure. And this wasn't really a tag team. I just want to do something different. It was a tag team, but when it was one of those team ups that was short lived, I just loved kind of the whole weird storyline they were doing at that point. But when X-Pac and Kane teamed up, I loved it.
He taught him how to talk,
Yeah.
and then he stole his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Tori Wilson, yeah.
It was Tori. It was regular.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just
Yeah.
Tori.
Yeah, it was regular
Yeah,
Tori.
you're right. But isn't her? Yeah, you're right. It was
Yeah.
Tori.
He taught him how to talk. He did the socket.
Yeah, it was either that or Rock and Sock Connection.
Rocket Sox again. Yeah, they're not like the greatest tag team because you couldn't call
No.
it. Boy, with the stuff they did together, it was fun.
They
Yeah.
were the tag team champions before, so
But like I said, that's why I didn't say top 5, just kind of my
Your
five
favorites,
Yeah.
Your 5 favorites are your 5 favorites. You're tied up
Exactly.
to 'em. You have a microphone and you have a camera. You can
Say whatever
say
the
whatever
fuck,
the
I
fuck you want to say.